Hey connoisseurs, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also into the best MJ community. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, July 19th. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing what if adult use gets passed. So Amendment 3, what happens if it passes in Florida? We're going to be taking a look at the companies to watch. So we're going to go over the biggest ones to look at in terms of footprint, and then others to consider as well. And then we'll look at the MSOS chart as well. There is some bearish patterns on the chart, so it's not looking too hot. But at the moment, anything can happen. The broader market is super raging bull right now. So if it were to ever pull back 5-10% for a healthy correction, which is due, that would not bode well for MJ stocks. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So if you recall, this article from July 8th, this is from Forbes. Florida MJ legalization bid headed to victory, polls suggest. So I've been on record for the last several months saying that I do believe that Florida is going to pass. I think it'll come somewhere around that 62 to 65% approval, and Amendment 3 will be approved, which means it'll be legal for adults 21 and older. So I do think that that's going to be the most likely scenario. It's going to be arguably the biggest market in the world, definitely in the US in my opinion, and this is going to ignite MJ stocks like you wouldn't believe. We could also see rescheduling. More than likely we have the comment period ending on the 22nd, so the last day is the 21st, so that's coming up in a few days, and I do think that rescheduling will happen before the election, more than likely sometime in the fall, probably sometime late September or sometime in October. If they don't get it done before the elections, it's just a political death sentence, in my opinion, if they don't get something done. So we'll take a look at some of the names. I posted this over on X a few days ago, but I wanted to share it again and do an actual video on this. So I've got in my MJ portfolio, if you haven't seen my 2024 MJ portfolio with percentages, I give my entire portfolio. It's a little dated, so I want to do another one here in the second half of 2024. So you can expect that over the next couple months. But essentially, I do own a lot of Cureleaf. That's probably my biggest MSO holding. And then I asked Grok. One thing I love to do is just go on different AI bots, and ChatGPT, I don't really find it as good. It's going off a lot of dated information, and I find Grok has very up-to-date information. So I said, what are the top MJ operators in Florida ahead of adult use legalization? And then it said, based on the information provided, Trulieve, which should be no surprise to anyone, appears to have the largest footprint in Florida among the MJ companies mentioned. Trulieve is described as Florida's largest medical MJ operator and the nation's largest MJ retailer after a major acquisition, and that was the acquisition of Harvest Health and Recreation. The other companies mentioned, such as Harvest Health, are Verano Holdings, Cureleaf, Air Wellness, and Cresco Labs. They also have a significant presence in Florida, but the information suggests that Trulieve has the biggest footprint in the state. So I do own a little bit of each of those. I own Air Wellness, AYR, I own Cresco, I own Cureleaf. I don't own Verano, but I might look at adding that one. I don't own any Trulieve either. I own MSOS, so I would own them indirectly through that. But I maybe look at picking up some Verano. I definitely want some more Air Wellness, Cresco. If I had to rate them, I would say, obviously Trulieve. Second to that, I would say Cureleaf. Then I'd say it's probably a toss-up between AYR and Cresco. I'll probably just go with Cresco just because of, they're a lot bigger in terms of, and I hear their products are fantastic. So I'd probably go in that order: Trulieve, Cureleaf, Cresco, and then AYR. Those would be my top picks in Florida. And there's also a fun mode. So I found this pretty funny. I said, which Florida MJ companies would be best to own if Amendment 3 passes? Well, if it isn't a green rush knocking at Florida's door, if Amendment 3 passes, it looks like some MJ companies might just see their stocks go up faster than a rocket powered by, well, you know what. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but if you want to read it, it's pretty comical. But obviously they talk about Trulieve being the number one. Verano, they mention second, then Cureleaf, AYR, and then Cresco Labs, as I mentioned in the previous one. So this is just fun mode. You can do fun mode, has a little bit more of a sense of humor. But we'll take a look at MSOS. So at the moment, it's not looking too hot. We just had a daily bear flag target that was reached, and now it's a weekly bear flag. So we have our high, and we confirmed a weekly downtrend as well with a lower high and a lower low. And we had another lower high and lower low. So we did confirm the bear flag once we lost 688. We hit 680. So if you take your high to the low here, then move it out to your 0.382 fib. That gives you your measured move of the weekly bear flag, and it's saying we could be targeting 537 and potential for weekly oversold after coming off daily oversold. And this is not looking hot. This would more than likely be, in my opinion, some sort of broader market sell-off if we were to see the S&P 500 correct. There's a big cyber outage today, and we've been warned for multiple years that there could be a big cyber attack really heading into the elections as well. So we have to be ready for any kind of black swan. But it's not looking too great at the moment. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, we had the stochastic and MACD bear cross. We're set to potentially close above the 10-week moving average, but we failed to do it this week, so a little bit weak. And then we did have a bull cross of the stochastic, but it's still a ways away before we see that weekly MACD cross, more than likely a week or two. We are seeing, for the first time ever, the 50 and 100 weekly moving averages cross bullish, but you can see here that it's acting as very strong resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had one more flush down and then we see upside momentum. More than likely going to be some results of rescheduling. There was the comments, and I think there was like close to 35,000 last time I checked, and they're probably going to be 95% positive, right? And then I think it will get rescheduled before the election sometime in the fall. But we're also having a death cross as well. The 50-day is above the 200-day moving average, and they're crossing, so that's referred to as a death cross. And you can see here it was very strong resistance, not looking good whatsoever. So we have to be ready. If we were to drop down to that 537 area, that's about another 21% of downside. So like I said, that would more than likely coincide with some sort of broader market sell-off. But the fact that we're topping out right at these weekly moving averages, right at the daily moving averages in a death cross forming, not looking too hot. If we zoom out to the monthly time frame as well, we have no monthly support all the way down to 492. So we could easily come back down and test some lower levels here. And that would pretty much give that whole move back. But if we just take our fib tool from the low to the high here as well, we are right at the golden pocket. So pretty much anything in this area here, right between the 618 and the 786, are a decent area to buy. But again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. It's just my own thoughts and opinions. But as of right now, this isn't a bad idea to start scaling into this golden pocket. So if you're looking for entries, again, not financial advice, but never been a better time in my opinion. I don't think we're going to go sub $5 again. Personally, but you never know. Could see a flash crash depending on any kind of black swan. If there was a full-on cyber attack ahead of the elections, you never know. There was an attempt on a certain individual's life over the weekend at a rally. So yeah, thank God he was okay. We don't wish any harm on anybody, but we have to come to terms with the fact that something bad could happen, right? They tried once, they might try again. And you never know what the outcome might be next time. So we have to be prepared, right? And this is why, especially when the S&P 500 is at all-time highs and raging bull mode, that we're going to have a correction eventually. And right now, MJ stocks are not set up that well at all. But in my opinion, it'll just be a buying opportunity if we do see that weekly bear flag follow through and the death cross playing out here as well. So unfortunately, it's looking like a little bit more downside. But I do think that leading into the fall, we're going to see rescheduling, Schedule 3. I think, that's pretty much a done deal. If rescheduling doesn't happen, I think it'll be a slight chance of descheduling, but I can't see nothing happen. Like I'd say it's close to a 0% chance of nothing happening, right? Staying on Schedule 1. I don't think that's less than a 1% chance for sure. I'm going with rescheduling. Schedule 3 is the most likely scenario with a very small chance of descheduling. So, and then, like I said, I think Florida's going to pass adult use in November. We're going to see potential for improvements to excise taxes here in Canada. Germany looking to fast track Pillar 2. We could see banking and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ as well for some of these U.S. names. So a lot of positive catalysts ahead and bullish catalysts ahead, but we just need to be patient. There could be a little bit more turbulence and one more leg down potentially as a result of some broader market weakness. I can't really see anything sector related that would bring us down there. Unless we get, some crazy news. But, I think the most likely scenario, what would bring us down is a pretty big sell-off in the broader market. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. It's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.